diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Clemson will boot it away to get this one started. And he'll bring it back. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. The Cornhuskers offense will have the ball first. Looking to throw, it's Leonard. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
Well, statistically, this defense is not one of the better units against the pass. They're trying to change that here today. What a great job tracking the ball down, making a play on it, stabbing it out of the air for a big interception early. That should be massive for their confidence.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Back to pass. Spits it out to the back. Touchdown, Clemson! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They get set for the point afters. We have the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him...
Breaks into the open. He'll be stopped and forced out of bounds. Mark it at the 47-yard line, and this offense is going to work.
Quarterback showing you some resiliency here on this drive. He threw a pick on the opening drive of the game, but he was able to turn the page right away. You can't let that bad play affect you, and they're letting him throw it. They're being aggressive, and he's proving that he can still make good decisions here. He can find the open target and deliver strikes.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. They'll move the wide receiver. Back to throw, it's Leonard. Quick completion on the out route. And there might have been trouble if they hadn't gotten to him immediately.
Man coverage, when they get up in your face, they make things hard. You want to be able to attack the whole field and get them lean in one direction and then break outside like you did there. Nice out route connection, nice chemistry between quarterback and wide receiver.
He lobs one high down the left side. Touchdown, Cornhuskers! They won it all, and that is exactly what they got.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Kansas State looked like a serious force in what can only be described as a dominant win. This is a program that's won before, and they might just add some more hardware before this year is out. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still 2 quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this, this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field. What a big game for the offense.
Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7. As you watch how a season unfolds and you get off to a good start like these guys have in ACC play, that momentum can really be powerful.
Oh, 100%. The momentum, the confidence. Like, you go from starting the season and saying, we want to be great in these areas, and now you're starting to see it, starting to pile up some conference wins. Now, Jesse, getting to the middle of the season, and you got to continue to evolve, right, and be ready for some of these rivalries.
No doubt about it. And I think they also like the fact that they've got some guys stepping up and making plays consistently. It's one thing to do it off in non-conference play against weaker competition early in the year, but now that you're into the meat of your ACC schedule, they've got guys on both sides of the ball that they can count on week in, week out.
Got his man on the outside.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
And the Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. The run from the shotgun. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
And that is just an attitude run, running it right up the middle, right into the teeth of that defense.
Let's see what Clemson comes up with on first and goal. They want to run this quarterback. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Clemson.
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They marched 78 yards down the field, and they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score, already down 14-7. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Looking to pass. It's Leonard. Here comes the heat. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. And that Clemson defensive front getting their paws on dudes and making their presence felt.
And, Reese, that's how they built their dynasty. I mean, I know the offense was flash and sizzle and was really good, but, man, it's the Dexter Lawrence and the Christian Wilkins in the defensive front. Those big boys that could get after the quarterback, that played relentless. Those guys really set the tone and set the foundation for Clemson and big-time success.
The Huskers decide to punt it away. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. First one of the day is on its way. Didn't see a lot of him in that loss last week. Only called on once. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the middle. Got his man downfield. And they'll get enough for the first down, and that's how things will come to a close here in the first quarter. We're through one period, and these receivers are showing out big time. Take a look at the stats. First play of the period, first down here. Wants to throw on first down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. So now it's second and long. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Quick spin on the run. Tackle is made at the 27. Let's give him 10 yards on the play, and it is enough for a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Coming out on first down with the play fake. throws for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Tigers.
And a really nice job understanding I got to get to that gap where there's a little bit of open space in the middle of the field when I run that post route. QB lays it out for him, and he catches it, gets 2 feet in bounds, in the end zone, touchdown.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of...
And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
Well, this guy's become a bit of a problem for opposing offenses. In their last game, he had 2 sacks, and he's dominating again, getting his first sack in this game now. He right now is wrecking people's game plans, and this offense better find out how to slow him down.
Get it out to the supersonic guy. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. And the Huskers will punt this one away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Looks it all the way in, and now turns his attention upfield. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. Split backs here. Motion from the wide receiver. The give to the back. Turning it on. Got enough for the first. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. We now move inside 4 minutes to play here in the first half. To the air on 1st down. Oh, they're after him. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. 4 wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. Gonna let it fly, and they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. The black shirts looking to this crowd, and they are delivering energy on this big 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. And the deflection by the defense brings up 4th down.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
3 straight incompletions, and undaunted, they'll go for it on 4th and 10. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. Can't complete the long throw, and the defense gets off the field on 4th down. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job understanding they were going to throw the football in this 4th down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
Looking to throw, it's Leonard. Makes the pass. Working on the right. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22. An explosive play takes them right outside the red zone, and they've got it 1st and 10. They go to the ground. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Snagged in the middle. It's held. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. The Cornhuskers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll go to the air on 3rd and short. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet.
You have got to have pass rushing lane integrity when you face this quarterback. On third down, someone gets out of his gap right up the middle. It's easy for the quarterback to see. He just tucks it and takes off and picks up the first down.
Yeah, you want to be physical. You want to assert yourselves. And now listen, I know this is a top 5 defense against the run in college football, but you got to believe you can do it and continue to stay balanced and run the football and be physical down here in the red zone.
Second down, he'll throw it. Touchdown, Husker! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Motion from the wideout. Jump the gun just a bit, and we've got a false start. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Might be calling a hot route. Here's the snap, looking to throw. A strike downfield. Push down for the tackle.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He was in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
Second and short, maybe looking for a shot. Got it in the middle, it's Toner. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Lining up from the 34 on first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Got a man, it's Toner. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down. I don't think he was the primary receiver on the play, but when you get that open, you become the primary target.
You ain't lying, and a great job. Credit to the quarterback seeing it, because you have your primary...
He'll loft one deep down the left side. Touchdown, Tigers. They took a shot to the end zone and found 6 points waiting on them.
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the second half to get some stops.
He wants to throw it. Flushed out of the pocket. Makes the grab in the end zone for the 2 as they extend the lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the finisher coming on that 42-yard touchdown toss. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Use the play fake, now to throw. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
Well, he did what he was coached to do, and he threw it away, but you can see he's frustrated with himself. He knows he's one of the fastest quarterbacks in the country, and I think he's wishing he had that play back because he might have been able to take off and scramble, and who knows what could have happened for the offense.
Back to throw, it's Leonard. Rushes on him, and the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Yeah, and how about this defense, man? That's the third sack of the day. They've been putting pressure, getting him on the ground. Not something they've been good at throughout this season. This defense playing better because they're getting more pressure on the quarterback.
Under fire. Bringing the heat. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, a lot of ways to describe those first 2 quarters in Lincoln, but let's just go with notable.
The Huskers will kick it off to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. This crowd still bringing the intensity to open the second half. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Throws for the tight end. Connection to the right. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
Quarterback making checks. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the tight end. Wide open downfield. Touchdown Tigers! And the punishment has been extended. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5?
Well, this offense looked unstoppable in the first half, lighting up the scoreboard, and it doesn't look much different here in the second half. They take their first drive of the third quarter, march it down the field, and score. There is no end in sight for these guys.
And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. To the air, it's Leonard. It's complete on the right side. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one. Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Got it set up on the outside. No siree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
They were able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
You hate giving up that play if you're the DB on this one because you're playing man coverage. You're trying to defend a slant route. You've taken the inside away. That's where your leverage is. You'll allow anything to happen to the outside. You're trying to funnel the receiver to the boundary. You just cannot let the receiver beat you to the inside.
And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And that's a really good job by this defense being dialed in. You got a big lead. You know exactly what's coming. This offense is going to have to make some explosive plays down the field. They were ready. They were disciplined and made a good play on the football.
Pressure coming. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort.
And that's the problem as an offense, man. You get in these 3rd and forever situations, and now the defense drops back, and they take away all the deep stuff, and you're trying to find some space, but it's just so hard to try to convert those 3rd and longs.
Catches it cleanly at the 20. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
The quarterback just lost track of the play clock, didn't get the snap off quickly enough. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. On the ground, it's Jimenez. Spins away from the defender. They'll spot the ball at the 34 as he goes out of bounds right there. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. He might want another play. Wants to go up top. Looking to the big tight end. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now has taken out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place, and that time they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that.
There he goes. Spins away from the defense. Oh, and the defense in chase mode, and they finally get him down at the 35.
And that is picture perfect by this quarterback. Nice job running the option, seeing he's not covered. Nobody's taking him. They didn't play that responsibility, and he chews up yards and makes the huge play.
Gets it past the 1st down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice game.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. 1st and goal from the 9. The Tigers kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. He wants it all. Looking for the goal line. And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. And don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
Reads it, fires complete. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
He was not fooled on that one. You know, a lot of times you want to buy space, and you throw this route really when it's off coverage. But you could tell the cornerback was up, ready to come, pounce on that screen, and get the tackle for a loss.
Fires to the wideout. Got it in the middle. It's McNabb. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's 1st down. And the Huskers come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air, it's Leonard. Under fire. Finds his big tight end. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. Looking for a chunk play on second and short. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. We've reached the break. Clemson has the lead. Well, guys, so far this has been a massive beatdown, and it would appear the biggest challenge is what kind of records can they set as we have a look at the third quarter stats. So we open the final period with a third down play. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Fires it incomplete.
And it's going to be hard for this offense, man. They've struggled to pass the football down the field, to make these explosive plays, and now huge deficit. Got to make them. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field to create some explosive plays if you want to.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. First down for this offense. To the ground. He's got it again. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Able to pick up a couple down to the 27.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Wide receiver going in motion. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Off play action. Makes the grab. Got enough space. Touchdown Clemson. And they take it in for 6 more points. They build this fourth quarter lead, and they are just minutes away from going 5-0.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me, or I should get conserved, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. Give to the running back. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, back up inside their 20. And the sack all the way back at the 5.
And this defense has been flying around. They are everywhere. There's 6 sacks on the day, spreading it around, multiple people coming from every angle. This QB has had a nightmare of a day.
Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse?
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got weapons at every skill position on the field. Any of these guys is dangerous if they touch the football. Let's see what they do on this drive, David.
And so, Palmer, I got to take away something. I can't let them have everything and have success. I got to be aggressive against the run or play for the pass. I can't give them everything.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll keep it on the ground, trying to milk the clock. Oh, he's got some space. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just added their total.
And how about this squad, man? Looking good again. Like, I feel like we say this week in and week out, just continuing to remain undefeated. Whatever it takes, offense, defense, special teams, they have been a good unit, and that's why their ranking is so high.
And that was not what they had in mind as the kickoff sails out of bounds. Ball is coming out to the 40 after that penalty on the kickoff. To the air, it's quick. Safe completion on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
And so many things have to come together perfectly for a screen to work for big yardage. And they were close. You could tell that almost busted, but they just got wrapped up, got a little bit of yardage, but they really...
And the quarterback is toast back at the 35.
And how about this offense, man? It's been a rough day. You're getting beat down. You're trying to find some kind of momentum late in the game to build something off of, and you give up another sack.
Now 3rd and long and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. The play-action fake. Lofts one high and deep. Makes a connection. Major gaps in that defense, and he got loose, and they finally knock him down at the 41. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Gets it past the marker. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a 1st down. The Cornhuskers come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Find some fresh air. Really good running, gets it into the red zone, and they'll have it at the 16. 9-yard pickup on 1st down, and now they can take a shot on 2nd and short. From the gun, the running back has it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. The Huskers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, the run and looking for the 1st down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. From the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They'll give it to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to be more physical, to be able to continue to run the football against a really good defense.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. Splits the uprights right down the middle. Let's not say they cut into the deficit with that field goal. Maybe just, I don't know, tweaked a little bit of it away with their fingernail. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. With this big cushion they're working with, Jesse, they're ready to send these fans toward the exits.
And you know the coaching staff has got to be...
He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
Boom. From inside his own 15, looking for room. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Well, this has pretty much been an evisceration, an old-fashioned stomping, Jesse.
Yeah, and listen, this is one of those games where you're not necessarily throwing the playbook in the trash after this one, but I do think this coaching staff, David, really has to be honest with themselves and rethink what schemes are working and not working and which guys maybe need to get more touches in this offense.
Well, I think I like the trash option as well because it's been hot trash. This has been a bad day. Offense, defense, giving up a...
Brings into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest. And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the fourth quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes, bring the speed on the field, and get ready to play the pass.
And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. First play of this drive comes from the 27. Brown will throw it. He rifles one deep down the middle. Pulls in the deep ball. Timeout is called with just a single second left. After this, it'll be a wrap. Quarterback making adjustments. Off play action on first down. Going back to the well, another deep ball. He's got it in the end zone for another touchdown, and this is a full-fledged beatdown. Just complete and utter dominance in this one. Outplayed their opponent and took care of